Zorn to Largent.
Number 10.
I like Jim Zorn and Steve Largent. They were sharp. Yeah, they were sharp.
In 1976, the National Football League comes to the great Pacific Northwest.
That was an expansion team in 1976. Those early teams were really not very good teams. They were reject teams in a lot of ways.
Two of these cast-offs came together that summer in Seattle. Largent, who had been cut by Houston, joined Zorn, who had been released by Dallas, to form a potent passing combination for a fledgling franchise.
Zorn, play fake, back to pass, looks, he sets up, he throws toward the end zone, touchdown Seahawks! Zorn's dropping back to pass, looks, he throws down the right side for Largent, he's in the clear, he makes the grab, touchdown Seahawks!
Jim Zorn, along with Steve Largent, they were the face and the voice of the franchise in those early days when the area was just giddy to have an NFL franchise.
The soaring popularity of this clean-cut combination led to an utterly endless flow of endorsements.
They did do milk commercials. I hope it wasn't more than one. I think it may have been.
We sang on them, too. Well, that's why we only did a few.
Show your stuff and drink milk.
Show your stuff and drink milk. You'll get lots of da-da-da-da-da.
It has lots of calcium, protein and vitamin.
They were not exactly on the nightlife scene in Seattle, but every ice cream shop opening, they were there. That's the kind of guys they were.
Despite their limited vocal range, our number 10 passing combination was in perfect harmony on the field, where Zorn's mobility and Largent's intuition helped turn the Seahawks into contenders.
Their third year as a team in Seattle, we were 9-7, almost made the playoffs, and it was primarily due to Jimmy and Steve and the success that they had and as good a passing combination as they were.
Largent made the grab!
Jim was taught, drop back. If you got to play, make it. But if you don't, scramble around, try to make something happen.
Zorn throws the bomb deep down the right side. Largent wide open at the 10. He's got it. Touchdown Seahawks!
Steve had the ability to know when a protection was breaking down. If the ball wasn't on him, he knew something was wrong, and he would just look.
We just had a sense of what one another was going to do before it even happened. And I think that had to do with just the fact that we spent so much time together on the field and off.
So close of friends were Zorn and Largent, they even carpooled to work together, but in a not-so-typical automobile.
Jim was very proud of his Volkswagen. He had it for a long, long time. And he took some perverse pride in being able to drive that Volkswagen into the game.
Get out of the way!
I really liked my Volkswagen. I thought it was really fast because, I like to feel like I'm racing around. Well, you can't really race around in a Volkswagen, but it sounds like you are.
Like Zorn's ride, this combination was practical yet dependable. Their success eventually vaulted Largent into the Hall of Fame. Mr. Seahawk retired with more catches, yards, and touchdowns than any receiver in NFL history. But Zorn to Largent will be remembered for more than just numbers.
Here's a couple guys that couldn't make it, got cut, and come to Seattle with an expansion team, and were the reason that the Seahawks had the immediate success that they did.
And then there was the last original Seahawk, Steve Largent. Largent's 1988 season opened with a nasty blow from Denver's Mike Harden. But Steve bided his time, and 14 weeks later, Largent got even.
It's picked off by Harden in the end zone. 2 yards deep. Will run it out. Takes it up to the 10, 15, out to the 20. He's on his feet, and boy, Largent. Woo! The ball comes loose. The Seahawks may get it back.
I mean, Largent just unloaded on Mike Harden. Holy smoke, what a play.
Steve will want to put that over his mantle, right on the fireplace.
That's better than any touchdown catch he's ever made, right there.
I'm not a great athlete, but I think I'm a good football player. I've played for a long time, and I know a lot about the game, and because I've been around for a long time now, my football instincts are pretty good, and I try to be in the right place at the right time.
The right time for Steve Largent is when a clutch reception is needed. The right place is usually the end zone. Largent possesses the intense concentration of a Zen master, and he could probably snatch a buzzing fly out of the air with chopsticks. Although defensive backs try to cover him like a blanket, They are the ones who get lulled to sleep.
He will mesmerize you and just flat turn you around. There's no way you can cover him if you look in his face or at his shoulders. You have to know that every game we go into, they're double covering him or keying on him on certain situations. And when he comes up with the catch, you just realize how great he is.
Largent seems unbound by the rules of gravity. He dives forward, he sails upward, and he moves backward. Steve Largent has the hands of a surgeon, the mind of a technician, and the body control of a contortionist.
You know, a lot of people, they have to look the football into their hands. Steve can look at the football and then turn the other way and catch on the other side of his body like nobody else can. He's got great concentration, great hands, and he has an intense desire to want to catch the football, and he's a very competitive person.
Regardless of the situation, I found that, you know, I compete just as hard at the beginning as I do at the end. And as a receiver, what that really means is just being consistent in what you do on the football field, that your routes are consistent, that you catch the ball consistently, that you're doing your proper assignment consistently.
Largent also has the reputation of being consistently slow-footed.
A lot of people have tagged me with that a lot, and you know, I think the older I've gotten, the more I've lived up to their expectations. I think I'm slowing down a bit, but you know, I think that you know, I'm still able to move around the football field fairly well and separate from people.
He's faster than what people think. He has a lot of things going for him, and I think one thing going for him that's great is that everyone says he doesn't have great speed. So when you go into the game, you think, well, you know, he doesn't have great speed, I'm going to kind of relax and just stay close. But he comes off the line, and he really has a great tempo, and he can stop and change direction and speed up so quickly that he really throws defensive backs for a loss a lot of times.
A defensive back's loss is the Seahawks' gain, especially when Largent gets close to the end zone.
The time that I really hit my hot button is once we get inside the opponent's 30-yard line. Once we get down and we're within easy striking distance, that's when things really get exciting right then, because you can make big plays and get the ball in the end zone, and that's the fun part of playing football.
Dedication and discipline, rather than size and speed, have made Steve Largent a star that is still ascending.